Okay, on today's tutorial, we're going to finish off modeling up this house. And from the last one, we'd created all of the walls and we're ready to now just put the windows and doors in the roof, and then we can start looking at it in 3D. So first of all, I'm going to start putting some extra doors in. So I'm going to go over to the doors I have here already. Otherwise, you could go up to the door option here and you could click on that and you can actually save doors in there. And there's windows as well, where you can save the favorites. For now, I've got mine in here modeled up. So I'm going to get a nice big door, 1200 door. And I'm going to zoom into the front door. I'm going to click, and I'm going to click again on the side I want the door to open. And for this door, I think I'm going to have it hard up against that brick there, possibly. And then there's a bit of room for it to swing back. And because this is a brick wall, brick veneer with timber, I like to click on that door, and I like the door to sit back a little bit to create a bit of a step, a bit of a threshold. So you go up here and you press 110. That'll make it sit back in line there with the cavity. So that door's done. Now I'll put some sliding doors at the back and we'll create a deck that wraps around. So we'll put maybe a big stacker door here. So I'll grab a nice big one. We'll grab this one. So I'll press the Alt button and then I'll click on the sliding door. And now I've got those settings. I can just click on the wall and then click which side I want the door to open. If you can zoom in, you can see this little square part here. This is the casing around the doors or the windows. You normally want those on the inside. If they are showing on the outside of the wall, you can highlight the door like I have now and press Control E, and then it flips it to that side. Or you can press Control E again. And it just goes back and forwards. And if you want to mirror the window or the door so that it opens from a different side, you find the center point, which is that black dot, and you can press Control M. And then you can let go of those Control M keys on the keyboard, and then you just click on the black dot and it'll flip it. So Control M, click, Control M, release, click. And we're going to have the sliding door open from this side because most people are going to come from that side. So not many people are going to come from this way. So most of the traffic will come through this way. So it's easier to open the door from that side. And I'm going to make this door 3600 wide. That means it's 1200 for each panel, which makes it a little bit more luxurious. For now, I'm going to click Control D. I'm going to click the edge of the door. I'm going to click on that corner, and then I'm going to press Control D, click R600, and I might go another 400 mil. Control D, click, drag R400, and that probably looks a bit better. So I'll leave the door there. Now I'm going to put some windows in because, I mean, we can put one more door here and a garage door, but that'll be it for the external doors. Actually, we'll put one in the laundry as well. So I'm going to click on that door. Then we go to the laundry, and I'm going to click on that side. Same thing here. I'm going to put 110 up here. That sits back a bit, and I don't want the casing to show on the outside of the wall, so I'm going to press Control T, which will go to the settings, or you can click up here. You can click in there to go to the settings, or press Escape. Press Control T. That'll bring the settings up as well. And if you click on here, there's all different settings in here for the doors. And yeah, it might be a bit overwhelming to start off with, but you'll understand after a while. If you click on this one, door settings and openings, you got the style of the door. I want to make mine a full glass door. And if you click on that again, and if you go to model attributes, you can change the color of the window or the door frame. I'm going to make it black, glossy black, and I'm going to press OK. And go back into Control T again, then click on that and go to casing outside and untick. You can see up here in a preview that it's removed that. That's removed now, because you don't need that casing on the outside where there's brick. They just put it on the inside to cover the gaps where the plasterboard gets put in. Okay, that one's done, and we need to put a door here, and we'll press Alt, click on that door, click here, press Escape, click on the corner, press Control D, click, Control D, click 100. That's just the quickest way I like to make sure that doors are accurately and consistently positioned. Always say 100 mil off there, unless it's tight, I might make it 50 mil. Then that gives space for this casing to go in without hitting the wall. And that looks pretty good. And we'll just put a big stacker sliding door for the robe in there. And summon these ones as well. So you can either go up into your door settings, or I've got some stored here ready to go, which are these ones. So click, press Escape, click on the door, see how it's needs to be longer. You can click on the edge and stretch it, but then the numbers can be odd. So I always just go straight up here and just put a number in. So to start off with, sometimes I'll just like click and take it all the way to the wall. And then I want to reduce it back from the wall slightly. So maybe I'll make it 3500. And then I'll equally distribute that gap. So I press Control D, drag it down and press 25. Another 25, sorry. So 50 mil on each side. You know, on site, they might actually make that door full width there. They might not put anything in there. And 2 doors, that would be quite a big door and not practical. So I'm going to split that into, say, 3 doors at least. So press Control T, click up here, make your way through the settings. Once you get the door settings and openings, you can see opening type. Click on that. There's different options here. So I'll just click the three leaves one and then press OK. And normally you change your type of door, how many doors, before you adjust the width, because I went and adjusted the width and then I changed the amount of doors. It just changed. So I'd made it all in vain what I did earlier. So just change the amount of doors before you mess around with the width. And from memory, we made this 3500 for center. And that's it now. That door's done. We can press Alt on that. Click, press Escape, click on the door, Control D, click. Now that's too many doors, so we're going to change the amount of doors first. We're going to go back to a 2-door, press OK, click, and then we'll make this, you know, you could just keep it wall to wall like that, and then press Control-Shift-D, and then you'll see the plus symbol show up, and then you can click on that corner, push your mouse, the ball of your mouse in, and you can just toggle to the left or right. If it comes out, you zoom back in again, then click. This one is this robe's a bit larger than that one, so it's not symmetrical. So I'm gonna measure, press M, and click that corner and click there, and that's 1100. And I want to check over here, M 1190. So now I'm going to click on that wall, press Control D, and you drag it over 90 mil, or you can just click it and press flip. But I flipped it the wrong way. So Control D, click, drag, hold Shift, press R, 90, enter. Now that wall needs to intersect. And part of the reason I do make these doors a bit shorter is so that I can locate that wall. So that's where that wall is. So if you're having trouble locating that wall because that door's sitting over it, you can either move the door or press Control Z to undo, or press undo up here. The other way is just hold Shift over the top of the door and you press Tab at the same time, and it'll go through a couple different options. This seems to be just bringing up the wall each time, so that's good anyway. So we just click, and you know that's the wall because the door's not highlighted, and then you hold Shift and click on that wall, and then press Intersect up here. And that's all sorted out now. So now they're equal. Okay. You might put a couple beds in here in the bedrooms now. So if you can go to the objects here and click there and type in bed. And there's different types of beds options there up the top. I'm going to press escape because I've got some beds ready set up with the settings I like. And this is the king size. I'll click on it and press Control Shift D because I want to leave that there as a template, but I want to drag a copy over. Click, and I'm probably going to have this bed head on this wall, and then the front window will be side on to that, because if I have it over here, that door's in the way. It's not giving me enough width. So I'm going to press Control M, and I can click here, draw a straight line, and then click, and then press Control D on this dot. Take it to the corner, press Control D, hold Shift. See how it's got 3600 showing up? Now I know that's what the full width is, and if I want that black dot where I've got it holding here halfway, then it needs to be 1800, enter. Now that's perfectly halfway in the room. Now, because this door seems a bit tight to get in there, I'm going to put this door over on this side. So I'm going to press Control M and click, and then zoom in, Control D on that dot, click to the corner, Control D, hold Shift, press R, and we'll make that 100. And it's not ideal to have these doors going over the walk-in robe. Usually I probably would have a totally different design for the walk-in robe anyway, but I'm just trying to go through this quickly, so I'm not really giving too much thought to the layout. Okay, now we can continue on to the door in the garage. So I've got some garage doors here. I'm going to press Alt. I've got those settings now. Click, click, escape, click, Control D, click. Now I want to drag this door over halfway of whatever that width is. So Control D, click. So as you're going straight up, you can move your mouse and see how it gives you a little dotted reference line. So you go over to that corner where the tick is, and you can see on the distance it says 1220. So I'm going to drag the door up. If you press R, you can alter that 1220, and you can make it 610, which is half of that, and press enter. Now that door is perfectly halfway. You've got 610 mil on each side, which is enough space to put some shelving along each side of the wall. And press M. I just want to confirm the measurements in here. That's 6 by 60/20. So I'm going to click on that wall, and I'm going to press Control D, and I'm going to press R, 20, enter. Click that door, press Control D, bring it down, 10. Press M, 6 by 6. So for some reason it was 20 mil wider than what I normally make it. So I've just pressed Shift and I've clicked on those 3 walls, and I'm going to click intersect. If you press Control Z, undo, you can see what the error was when I brought it down 20 mil, that wall sticking out 20 mil on both sides. So that's why I pressed Shift and highlighted the 3 walls, and then I'll click on the intersect. Press Escape. Now I've got space here to put a door or something there. So I'm going to measure that space, press M, click that inside of the wall, press Shift, move your mouse out to there. That's 2160. If I wanted to, the client could probably put a small roller door there. For this job, I'm just going to put a door there like what we put in the laundry. So I'm going to press Alt, click, 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 Escape, click, Control D, drag it over to the wall, and then drag it off 100 mil. Okay, that's all of the doors done now. So now we can work on the windows. So I'm going to start from the front of the house and work my way back. We'll start in the master bedroom. I want a nice big window there. I like the big fixed glass windows. So just one big pane of glass, quite a big one. So I'm going to zoom into my window I've got set up. You could go up here. I've got to go in here and set up some favorites, but there's one here, but I've got to change so many settings if I want to use that one because I haven't set it up yet. So I'm going to press Escape. I'm just going to use the windows I've got set up here already. This is one pane of glass. I'm going to press Alt, click on that one. Click, click, press Escape. Now, when you click on the window, and that's currently 1500 wide, I want to make that maybe 2.4 wide and press Enter. And I think that'll be a good size. So I'm going to center it now. So Control D, click on the edge, click, Control D, and I'm going to go halfway, 600. So now, if I press Control M, we've got 600 mil on either side there. And I think that's a good distance to have there on either side of the window. I'm going to click on that window again. I'm just going to confirm that height. And I think that height's a good height. Maybe actually we'll make that 1800. So that'll sit 300 mil off the ground. So normally the top of the windows and doors will be 2100 on most houses that are standard. And if that's 1800 high, the top's at 21, that leaves 300 mil left where, so basically where your feet are on the ground when you're standing next to it, you could kick the wall underneath the window. There's about 300 mil of a plasterboard that'll go under that window. Press Escape. We're probably gonna, I reckon we put a highlight window as well in here. So I'll press on Alt, click, click, press Escape, click on that, press Control D, click that center, and I'm gonna bring my mouse over to the center of the bed and it'll bring a tick up. So I'll know that that's centered because I've already centered the bed. And you'll notice the bed is actually sitting in front of the casing there shown. So if you click on the bed and press Display Order, Send Backward. Display Order, Send Backward. Sometimes you got to do it a couple of times, and now the casing of the window is showing. So press Escape. Just do that for presentation purposes because that window is going to sit above that bed. So I'll click on that window, and I'm going to make this window 600 high. So it's going to be a highlight window that sits above the bed for additional light, ventilation. Well, you'll need that one for ventilation because this one's a fixed glass window and we need an opening window now. So once I've highlighted that, I'll click Control T and I'll go into the settings. So what you can do is you can flick through these different options. While you're going through this here, you can have these views up here. So I like to put this elevation one on, and then I'll click on this tab and then I'll go to opening type and angle, and then in here, you can change the options, and I'll make that a top hung. Top hung means it will wind out from the bottom. It's hung from the top. And that's commonly what's used as a highlight window in Tasmania. So I'm going to press OK. So now that's your opening ventilation window above the bed. And I'm going to put a window into the bathroom, but I've got to figure out the layout of the bathroom first. So for now, I'm going to move on. Press Control-Shift-D on this window, click, and bring a copy down to here and click on that wall. You can click on that and you can adjust that window width to there. That's 1800 wide, and you can do wall to wall. That's what I'm going to do, but I'm going to remove that casing. So I'm going to press Control-T, click up here, go to casing, inside, and press enter. That's all gone now. Press OK. That's a full width window above the shower. It sits 600 high. So if you take 600 from 21, you've got 1500 high. So the sill or the bottom of the window is at 1500 high, which is about shoulder height on me anyway. Okay, press escape. And in the walk-in pantry, I mean, if we're going to make this like a butler's pantry, which I won't, I'm just going to leave it with no window. We'll make it pretty standard. But I'm going to click on this window, press Control-Shift-D and drag a copy over to here. And we can have a nice backsplash window all the way along here, and we can make it quite wide. So click on that corner, adjust it to there, and same here, just for now, till I can gauge the length. And we need some space to put PowerPoints along here, so I'll probably reduce it maybe 300 or 600 on each side. So I'm going to take 1200 from this. If I ever need to calculate something, I'll bring up the calculator. I pin it to the tab down the bottom here. So I'm going to go 3800, and then I use my keyboard because it's quicker. 3800, take 1200, enter, that's 2.6. So I can go up here now and press 2600, and I'll reduce it to the appropriate size that I calculated. And I'm thinking I probably want it a bit bigger, so I'm going to add 150 to either side, which is another 300, so 2900. And I think that's looking a bit better. I'm just going to quickly see what it looks like if I add another 300 onto it, which would make it 3200. And I think I'm really liking that better because I still got space for a PowerPoint here or here and here. Actually, I might reduce it back again. So I'll go 3 meters. I'm going to measure. That gives me 400 mil on either side. I was just contemplating, if you put a kettle and a toaster there, you don't particularly want it to sit in front of the window. So I'll stick with 3 meters for now, and that's 600 high. I can make it 700 high for a backsplash window. Like they're normally 600, but you can increase it to 700 to have the overhead cupboards can sit a little higher. So now that that's 700 high, I'll want to adjust the head height. So normally these windows sit just above the bench. So they're going to be, the sill will be at 900, and the top, if you had 700 to 900, is 1600. So if you adjust that to 1600, press enter, you'll see what that looks like once we pop into the 3D later on. Press escape. Now we're going to put a 2-pane glass window here. Or maybe we'll put a big fixed glass one as well. So press Alt, click on that. Click there, press Control-D. I've already centered this table from earlier tutorials, and so all I need to do is center this window at the table, which is there. Click, press escape. I think we're going to leave that there. 2400 might be wide enough, or we could maybe go 3 meters. That might look pretty cool. Because up the side yard, you could do a bit of bamboo or something against the fence line for privacy, but you've got something nice to look out the window at. And we'll make the height, it can stay at 1800. And we'll put another one here. and 2 here, but those ones will be opening windows. So for the ones beside the TV, I'm going to press Alt on this window. Then I'm going to zoom in and I'm going to press click, click, press escape, click on the window. And we only want that window to be maximum 900 wide. So, and it'll be 1800 high. And take that head height back to 2100, press enter, press Control T. We're going to change the type. If you click on that, you can see the window side on. I want to have a fixed glass portion underneath and the top part can open. So if you click through, you go to shape, lower transom. It's going to add this fixed glass portion, and I normally make that 600. And because we're in Tasmania, we use a lot of these awning windows. They don't let too much, they don't open too far like a sliding door, like a sliding window. But you don't need it to open much in Tasmania. But the awning is helpful in Tasmania because it does rain a lot and the wind is pretty strong and the rain goes sideways. So the awning windows prevent that rain from coming inside the window if the window is open. If you press OK now, and then press Control D, click the edge of it, you can go to the TV, and then we're going to work our way out from there. So if I click, and I reckon 900 out might be enough, or we'll go 1 meter. 1000. Press Control Shift D, click there, click to the center, and Control D, 1 meter as well. Another way you could have done that, if you just press delete on that window, delete, is click on that, press Control Shift and M. So that's dragging or mirroring a copy. Control Shift and M. Then you can click on that center point, which is there, and then it just flips it over to there. That's a quicker way to do it as well. I'm looking at this now and it does seem a bit small, these windows. So I'm thinking we might need to increase those windows actually. So maybe we use a different window altogether there. I'm going to highlight it and I'm just going to try 1200 wide for now. And drag it over 300 mil. Drag it over 300 mil. Yeah, I'll just leave it for that for now, but ideally, you know, I like to have more natural light the better, so I'd probably maybe even put another window over here. Just going to leave it off for now, but I will put another window here definitely, and this one needs to be an opening window. And I'm thinking we might have 2 panes of glass. So I'm going to find a different window. I'll click highlight. We're going to make this 2400. This needs to be a nice chunky wide one. And we can stick with 1500 wide. Yeah, we'll go with that. So I'm going to press Control D. I'm going to click on this black dot and I'm going to center it with the center chair. Now I know that's all centered. Press Escape. I'm going to use these similar windows. If you click on that window, you can see there's a bit of a gap there. So I need to put the 110 into there. Alt, click, click, escape, click. We can have these 1500, but we're going to have them 1800 wide. That I need to be as wide in the bedrooms. Click, click, center there, 600. Control Shift D. 600. We've got windows in there now as well. Control T, I just want to check the settings. So we've got 2 opening windows. I'll probably have 1 fixed. So I'm going to highlight all of these 3 and press Control T. And I'm going to change one of these needs to be a fixed glass and press OK. And in the garage, we can put 1 window up here, highlight window. So this is a highlight. So Alt on that, click, click, press Escape, and I'm going to center that up. That's quite a long window as well, so it's pretty luxurious for a garage. It's a bit of an odd number there. So we'll go 1800. And now we're going to put a slab in because we've got all the windows and doors in. Now we can put a slab in and we can do a deck. So that's all for today's tutorial. I'm going to create another tutorial today as well, just finishing that off. And I'll chat to you soon.